YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Rob Cave, and welcome back to the Rob Cave Show. In this one, we got another reaction video for you guys, and this time we are reacted to Planner and his 1 in a million WWE moments. Without further ado, of course, always gotta leave a like, support people videos, support the channel, subscribe to Planner, hit that right there. And without further ado, let's get straight into it.
These are 1 in 1 million
tough.
WWE moments.
That is tough.
In 1999, The Rock defended his WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, and in the middle of the match, this happened. The announce table prematurely exploding isn't the 1 in 1 million moment. We've seen that happen countless times in the past. It was the fact that the same thing happened 14 years later at the 2013 Royal Rumble in his WWE Championship match with CM Punk.
Punk with a huge smile on his face. Wait a minute.
The odds of this happening twice at the same pay-per-view were extremely low, but it somehow happened. The Rock should stay as far as possible away from the 2027 Royal Rumble because he's due for a table break. While those weren't some of The Rock's best moments, we do have the smoothest people's elbow of all time. On an episode of SmackDown, he gave us the sliding people's elbow.
And here it comes. The most electrifying move in sports entertainment today. Oh, the people's elbow.
He's never been able to recreate this move because it was a once-in-a-lifetime moment. It was perfect, just like this next clip. On SmackDown in 2002, we saw a super team of The Rock, Hulk Hogan, and Kane form to take on the NWO. But before the match took place, Kane delivered a legendary backstage promo where he was running wild, and we got this perfectly timed moment between The Rock and Jerry Lawler.
Or 20,000 Hulkamaniacs, or 20,000 screaming Canaanites.
Canaanites.
Seth Rollins didn't get the architect and visionary nicknames for no reason. This is how he creatively used a fan to his advantage.
Blood pressure, though.
That's not a WWE moment.
Hey, what are you doing?
He catapulted himself. Yes, he did. He catapulted himself off the fat guy.
I don't think we'll ever see an innovative move like that ever again, but we need to stick with Seth Rollins because we need to talk about the moment that he barely escaped a disaster, possibly even death. As the steel cage was being lowered, Rollins was struggling to slide into the ring, and this spike at the bottom of the cage was seconds away from impaling him. Thankfully, he got out just in time, but it was a terrifying moment, and I think it's safe to say that he got extremely lucky. During the build-up to the Montreal Screwjob Triple H and Bret Hart faced off in a match on Monday Night Raw, but neither man stole the show. Instead, a paper airplane did. Someone in the crowd managed to craft an enormous paper plane and sent it soaring toward the ring. Against all odds, the plane gracefully avoided China, glided into the ring between the ropes, and landed perfectly in the middle of Triple H and Bret Hart. The precision, the timing, and the sheer luck involved makes this impressive considering the impossible odds. In AEW, Dax Harwood got chopped so hard that it sends his gum flying, but don't worry though, because Cash Wheeler, his tag team partner, managed to catch the gum in mid-air and without hesitation tossed it into his own mouth and started chewing it. Finn Balor has performed the coup de grace thousands of times in his wrestling career, and it's never gone wrong except for the one time during an NXT Live event. He jumped so high that he actually broke the ceiling. Despite this, he still stuck the landing, so you gotta give him props. Another unexpected Finn Balor moment happened.
I'm still stuck. Hold on, I'm still stuck on it. He caught the gum and put it in his mouth.
Song, the crowd would join in together to throw their arms in the air during a part of his song, and it seems like the referee wanted to join the party as well.
Finn Balor.
One of the most impressive things we've ever seen was Ricochet jumping out of the ring. Even the Velveteen Dream was in disbelief. The WWE did try recreating this moment with Logan Paul, but I don't think it comes close to the original. However, Logan Paul and Ricochet did give us this moment at the Royal Rumble.
He is highlight worthy. Oh my goodness, what a collision!
The timing of this had to be perfect, otherwise it could have ended up like that Cody and Carmelo moments. Logan Paul even admitted that he forgot to tuck his chin in, leading to a head injury.
We were roasting Logan
because I was like stuttering over my words, saying shit twice, and Nina was like, I told her in the room, I was like, I just have to tuck my chin, and then every wrestler I passed on my way out was like, tuck your chin, buddy. And she's like, this is a thing, and you knew it was a thing, and you didn't do it, you moron.
That's probably the first and last time that Logan Paul will do something like this. Brock Lesnar is another wrestler who didn't properly land during one of his moves. You see, the Beast was capable of performing a shooting star press. There's many clips where he actually makes it look easy. WWE wanted him to pull off the move at WrestleMania in order to defeat Kurt Angle. However, Brock Lesnar botched the landing and fell directly onto his neck. Botching the move doesn't make this the 1 in 1 million moment. It's the fact that the Beast somehow got up and finished the match. Anyone else would have had a broken neck and probably would have needed immediate medical attention. But Brock is not human, and his neck is so thick that he avoided a serious injury. Lesnar luckily walked away with only a concussion, but he did get angry at the WWE personnel for not giving him his space. Thankfully, Brock Lesnar survived that botch and continued his wrestling career because we were able to get another unreal feat of strength when he just casually picked up the referee with one arm. Brock Lesnar legitimately made a 5'7", 150-pound adult look like a child. That is just crazy. Not only is Brock Lesnar impressive, but so are his fans. When the Beast returned in 2012, this man would become famous for this reaction. And so he became the Brock Lesnar guy. Seriously, that became his new nickname. Striking a viral moment like that is almost impossible, but Mr. Brock Lesnar guy did the impossible twice. He's also responsible for this.
Oh my God!
Yep, the Brock Lesnar guy gave us not one, but two perfectly timed reactions. He might have dethroned Green Shirt Guy as the most iconic WWE fan. Mr. Perfect was actually perfect. We've all seen.
Hey, who's the most iconic WWE fan right now? I think the guy with the Trinity flag. I be seeing him in the crowds and stuff like that. Honestly, that's with the Trinity. He either got the flag or the shirt. Like, I be seeing him a lot.
His pencil flip, even Pat McAfee.
I remember this one guy with the red hat and the blue shirt. I never knew his name, but I remember him.
He's been doing
like,
that on
OD.
Raw. But Mr. Perfect took things to another level when a fan threw a pencil at him during his own pencil flip. He kept his cool, caught his pencil, and then even smacked the other one. It's as cool as the time that he threw this towel behind his back to land on his opponent before their match. Speaking of his towel, we got to talk about the moment where he threw this behind his back only for his manager, Bobby Heenan, to catch it in mid-air. Chad Gable must have been studying those throws because he tossed his shirt into the crowd with perfect precision and it hilariously landed right on a fan. The odds of that happening are insane. Not only does he have excellent accuracy, but he's also got unbelievable strength. Chad Gable delivered a flawless German suplex to the massive Braun Strowman. Watching someone his size toss a giant like Braun is a sight you don't see every day.
No way, no way, no way, Gable! Oh, no! Oh,
that German suplex embodied pure power and strength. On the other hand, this one just seems like a glitch in the Matrix. I don't think I've ever seen a unique reversal like this before. Note to self, never attempt a standing moonsault on Braun Strowman. After hitting an RKO, Randy Orton couldn't contain his excitement and busted out a toe split celebration. It's the last thing you'd expect from a man known as the Legend Killer. We're not going to see something like that from the Viper ever again, especially because of his age and the fact that he's bulked up as well. Randy Orton's toe split isn't the only jaw-dropping moment from his career. At WrestleMania 31, he faced Seth Rollins in a match that delivered one of the most. Another incredibly impressive RKO took place on an episode of Raw with Evan Bourne. Orton managed to catch Bourne in mid. place Rollins in a match that delivered one of the most. Another incredibly impressive RKO took place on an episode of Raw with Evan Bourne. Orton managed to catch Bourne.
This is the
in
greatest
mid-air,
RKO
reversing a
ever.
Shooting star press into an RKO
Yo,
that left.
I remember seeing that shit live, bro. I went crazy in the crib. I was like, yo, he caught him in mid-air. Oh my, yo, bro. Yo, bro, that's the greatest arcade. I don't care what nobody says. That is literally the greatest, bro. He caught him off a shooting star, bro. Come on.
The crowd in awe. What makes this moment even crazier is the fact that it wasn't even rehearsed. They nailed the spot perfectly.
Did you guys practice this?
No, there's really no way to rehearse it.
Like, did you go over this, or was what we saw live was it?
Yeah, I mean, what you saw live was it.
But it's not the only moment that left us speechless. In NXT, Adam Cole pulls off something equally jaw-dropping when he super kicked Ricochet in mid-air.
Oh, yeah, that was
Cole's
fire.
timing was so perfect that his super kick connected squarely, stopping Ricochet in his tracks. This is why it was so over with
Ricochet
the
with the
crowd
great selling.
and everyone screaming. Moments like that super kick leave
I ain't
a
gonna
lasting
lie.
impression, but they're not
So Adam Cole need to come back to the E, bro. Just saying, you ain't doing shit at AEW, bro.
exclusive to WWE. Over in TNA, Elix walked the top of the cage as if it was a tightrope before performing a Hurricanrana. The risk involved was off the charts and the execution was flawless. It's a moment wrestling fans will never forget.
They hit the floor at the same time.
The botch at the 2005 Royal Rumble is considered to be the greatest mistake in wrestling history. In one of the most unbelievable moments, John Cena and Batista both tumbled over the top rope and landed on the floor at the exact same time. It was a fluke so perfectly mistimed that it looked intentional, leaving fans and officials completely stunned. And just when you
Yo,
thought
I
the
remember
chaos
watching this on YouTube so many times. I really like kept like rewinding it to the point where they both land. Yo, they literally landed at the same time.
could not get any wilder.
Like, you really
Vince
gotta-
McMahon stormed into the ring. Only
I feel like
to tear both
Batista made it
quads,
a
sliding
maybe
in,
like a
adding
hair of a
yet
second
another
earlier,
layer
but
of absurdity to
it was
this
too close.
legendary botch.
When I see them both land, I went, oh shit.
I looked at the bounce of these two large men, trampoline, same time. It looked like it was the same time. That wasn't planned, I'm sure.
It was not.
Thank God we landed when we did, kind of, at the same time. It was a miracle.
You cannot map that out any better.
It happened. It's my fault. I can't flip backwards.
No.
It's totally my fault.
And I totally take blame for it because I went over. I knew what the finish was, and I just went over. And
As we trust the process, out comes Vince McMahon.
and then when I saw Vince coming down, I was like, getting fired.
And we're like, oh, great. This is going to be fixed.
I get through the curtain and all I see is him go to dive in, go to stand up and just Google. Oh, this is odd.
And he tears both of his quads getting into the ring. Woo! Oh, no.
I think like later on, I didn't realize during the match, I didn't know why he was sitting there. I had no idea what was going on, and I was just worried about the match. And then they got him out of there. I think I found out later on.
To the testament of the work ethic and just the absolute gumption and dedication of Vince McMahon, with torn quads, he gets himself in the ring and gives us the guidance to finish the event. I cannot believe Vince, with two torn quads, was able to speak to us in understandable dialect and tell us exactly what to do.
But it was the next day, and I got to the building, and somebody immediately said, Vince wants to see you in his office, and I was like, here it comes. So I went to his office, and my heart is beating. I'm like, just in my head, packing my bags. And I walk into his office, and he's sitting, he's got his crutches beside him, he's all bandaged up. And he walks in, and he just starts laughing. And I was like, you're not gonna fire me? And he goes, no, I loved it. It was real.
As if Vince McMahon's infamous double quad tear wasn't enough to cement the family's history of bizarre injuries, his son Shane McMahon managed to add to the legacy at WrestleMania 39. During a surprise return, Shane stepped
Shane
into the
said.
ring for an impromptu match, but in a cruel twist of fate, he tore his quad moments into the bout while attempting a simple leapfrog. The surreal parallel had fans drawing comparisons to the 2005 disaster. It's not just Vince and Shane. Quad tears seem to run in the McMahon family tree. Even Vince's son-in-law, Triple H, tore his quad in 2001. The odds of 3 members of the family falling victim to this freak injury makes you wonder if the entire McMahon family is cursed when it comes to quads. This cup lands right between Flair and Anderson. It's like the time that Jinder Mahal threw a cup at Gronk only for it to land perfectly. Even Gronk was impressed. Scott Hall is the only person who can use a fan's drink to smoothly slick back his hair. Kevin Nash caught this drink and then poured it on his opponent. Like a badass Paul Heyman, completely no-sold this cup to the face. Pay attention to this announce table. It hit the fan right in the face. That wasn't the only time that Sami Zayn accidentally hit a fan with a weapon. He also sent a kendo stick flying into the crowd. You see, if I'm Sami Zayn, I'm gonna stop throwing things on the ground because it clearly keeps flying into the crowd. It's so satisfying to see this ladder bounce on every rope before falling down. A WWE referee did the same thing in the 80s when he got smacked in the face by Piper. This chair wasn't done with Brock Lesnar. Brock and Roman have such good chemistry that Reigns
that
managed
catch
to
was
catch
fire.
the microphone when Lesnar threw it at him, even gave him a wink. We'll never see something like this again. Here's some more perfection from Roman Reigns after he throws this chair. Brock Lesnar threw the Money in the Bank briefcase so far that it actually broke the LED stage. What's more impressive is when he threw a car door right into a fan's lap without hurting them. If I'm the fan, I'm keeping that door. It looks like they did. Here's another classic TNA moment from one of their matches. Kurt Angle diving on Abyss.
Yo, that was fire.
TNA Angle was just something else.
Nah, he was
Then
on
you have
fire,
Jeff Hardy's
TNA.
amazing Swanton Bomb. Everyone really hated Abyss. This might be the greatest spear reversal from Seth freaking Rollins. Luke Harper accidentally threw the kendo stick right into the arms of his opponent. Bubba took full advantage and went swinging. It reminds me of the time that Brian Cage also caught the kendo stick after the spine buster. Paul London must have been embarrassed after sliding out of the ring during his entrance. Just look at his face. And then you've also got the referee who did it much better before Kevin Nash knocked him out. Serious injury, he could have easily broken a neck or twisted an ankle, but instead his botch turned into one of the funniest and most iconic moments in WWE history. A mouse stealing the spotlight during the main event of Raw is the kind of chaos you can't script. While John Cena and Alberto Del Rio were deep in a heated segment, the real star turned out to be the tiny intruder scurrying across the ramp. Somehow the mouse managed to upstage 2 of WWE's biggest stars at the time, proving that even in wrestling anything can happen, especially when your main event gets hijacked by a rodent. As if the mouse stealing the spotlight wasn't enough, another unexpected creature crawled its way into WWE history. During a basketball game between MVP and Matt Hardy on SmackDown, a random bug decided to join in on the action. Thankfully, the bug managed to escape the chaos without getting squashed, and I just gotta ask you guys, who did it better, the mouse or the bug? Drake Maverick had one of the strangest moments that happened at Survivor Series while he was trying to interfere during a match. That's when the Big Show got a hold of him and he was supposed to pee his pants to sell the intimidation, but the fake contraption malfunctioned and the pee did not come out. Luckily for Maverick, he had just enough left in the tank, literally, to make it happen.
I don't think everybody knows, but I had to shoot wet myself because the contraption broke.
While only a little came out, it was enough to save the segments. AJ Styles summoned LA Knight during his promo.
I'll be stepping over Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and LA.
Nah, that was perfect timing.
LA Knight knows how to make an entrance, and I'd keep his name out of my mouth if I was in the WWE. WrestleMania 37 saw the return of the WWE Universe during the pandemic era, and Florida, known for its sunny weather, seemed like the perfect place to host it. But the weather didn't exactly cooperate. A rainstorm hit, causing the event to be postponed for 30 minutes. It was hilarious to see Michael Cole and Samoa Joe just wearing ponchos, trying to make the best of it. Even Mandy Rose could not escape the chaos, slipping on her way to the ring, adding to the unexpected madness. With all the weather trouble, it's unlikely we'll see a repeat performance, because WWE President Nick Khan even mentioned that they'll be looking into moving WrestleMania to later in May for future events to avoid weather disruptions. Did you know an earthquake actually struck during a New Japan Pro Wrestling show? It happened at Wrestle Kingdom 12 in 2018, shaking the arena while the action was going on. But it's not just New Japan. An earthquake also hit during an episode of Monday Night Raw back in 2011. To have an earthquake interrupt two major wrestling events is a rare 2 in a million moments. The earthquakes clearly shocked the fans, just like the Shockmaster did during his WCW debut. The Shockmaster was a larger-than-life character set to make an impact, and he was going to be a huge addition to the roster. But when he made his grand debut, everything went wrong. As he burst through the wall, his helmet slipped off, revealing his face, and he tripped, crashing to the floor in one of the most disastrous debuts in wrestling history. It could not have gone any worse. Instead of being a memorable moment for all the right reasons, it became a rare blunder that fans will still laugh about to this day.
Off the second.
Oh, that's fire. Yo, what? The timing you have to do for that kick to land, just like the Adam Cole Ricochet joint. That, yo, what?
Pay attention to how this wheelchair perfectly closes when Zack Ryder's thrown off the stage. The streamer lands right into Lance Storm's hand, and then he decides to give it back to a fan in the crowd. This chair lands on the top rope, leaving Jack Perry and RVD stunned, but they eventually get back into the action while the chair just chills there. When Austin Theory flexes,
Hey, yo, I ain't go. What the hell? What is wrong? What? What is that? What? Wait, hold on. What is that? Yes. What? What?
his shoulder blades caused a moment of generational trauma. Please, Theory, never again keep those things away.
Don't do that.
In one rare case, Triple H forgot his.
Yo, I remember. You know how random stuff be like landing? I that happens to me a lot, and I swear I used to be like, yeah, I can't. Every time it happens, to me, like, yeah, I can't do that. I remember one time I was working at a supermarket, right? I'm working at customer service, right? There's a cart where we have to put all the return items or anything people brought back on the shelves. So I had a peanut butter, right? And I threw that shit like to the cart, and I literally turned around. The peanut butter literally, like, you know how a shopping cart has the top part where you could put like smaller stuff on, and then a big. I should know how a shopping cart goddamn look, but that shit landed perfectly. Like in between like some shit, and just said, I said, yo, I can never do it. I think I did it again. I did something similar again, but yo, anytime that happens to me, I'm like, yo, I could never do that again.
Regular size water bottle, and this forced him to make his entrance with this big ass bottle. It looked absolutely goofy and unreal. A fan in the crowd with pinpoint accuracy threw toilet paper straight at Umaga's head. Gotta give credit where it's due. That is some impressive aim. Look at The Rock catch the cane in mid-air. Nobody was smoother than Dwayne. I'm still trying to process this clip. Where did Stone Cold Spear go? It literally looks like it just drops and vanishes into thin air. Maybe we do live in the Matrix. Coco Beware manages to hit the dropkick and land at the same time. I've never seen that before. Bianca Belair's kiss of death on Dewdrop never gets old. This is why Bianca is the strongest. I don't think John Cruz meant to do this with his jacket, because just look at his reaction. I'll never understand what possessed Shawn Michaels to do this headstand when selling this boot to the face. This moonsault doesn't even make sense. How did he flip into that direction? When Matt Cardona jumped...
What?
Moonsault doesn't even make sense. How did he flip into that
Nah,
direction?
what do you even call that? A shooting star for what? A shooting star 450 what?
When
That's
Matt
crazy.
Cardona jumped out of the ring, he somehow landed and ended up sitting right on his opponent's back. It's equally impressive with this unique dropkick splash from NXT. I still think about Shelton Benjamin running up the ladder in the first ever Money in the Bank match. Speaking of Shelton Benjamin, we can't ever forget
the super
about
kick.
this moment.
Boom.
CM Punk's return is featured in this video because frankly it was never supposed to happen. For a decade he repeatedly shut down the idea of ever coming back to wrestling, constantly taking shots at WWE in the process. When he joined AEW, it only seemed to confirm that Punk was done with WWE for good. But then nobody could have predicted the series of events that followed in AEW.
You talk a big game about workers' rights, yeah? Well, you've shown the exact opposite since you've gotten here.
These 19 words changed everything. These 19 words right here would be the most
Talk a big game. Talk a big game about workers' rights, yeah? Well, you shown the exact opposite since you got here.
important 19 words in AEW history. These 19 words were the first domino to fall during this wild story. While it sounds like a throwaway sentence in a random promo for a go-home show, it was far more personal. Hangman Adam Page deliberately took this shot at CM Punk to make a powerful statement. The story goes that there was a backstage belief that CM Punk tried to use his power and politics to fire his former friend, Colt Cabana, from AEW, who happened to be close with the Elite. And so Hangman Adam Page took it upon himself to try to expose CM Punk on national TV when he least expected it. He went after Punk's entire character, essentially calling him a lying hypocrite. On one hand, Punk's been talking about being the change that the wrestling world needed for the better, and on the other hand, the Elite believed that he was no different from the McMahons, Hogan's, and Triple H's of the world. After that, more and more reports came out and were being leaked out by somebody in AEW, making CM Punk look like a true villain who's trying to destroy the company. We've never actually found out who it was, but CM Punk, he had an idea.
The fact that I have to sit up here because we have irresponsible people who call themselves EVPs and couldn't manage a target, and they spread lies and bull and put into a media that I got somebody fired when I have all to do with him is embarrassing.
And in this moment, even Tony Khan knew that things would never be the same, but I don't even think he could have ever predicted what was to come. When CM Punk left the media scrum, he was confronted by the Elite in his locker room, and that's when all hell broke loose. A brawl started, punches were thrown, chairs were thrown, and ears were being bitten off.
And Larry the dog. Hey, you forgot about Larry the dog. He got hurt too, man. Shout out to Larry.
All parties involved. The Elite returned after a light suspension, while CM Punk was recovering from an injury. Nobody knew when, and even if CM Punk would ever set foot inside another AEW squared circle. That was until Warner Bros. Wanted AEW to create a new show for the brand, and the idea would be to build a show around CM Punk. He was the headline, he was the #1 guy, and this was also done to keep the Elite and CM Punk away from each other. It was definitely a flawed plan. A better idea would have been for all parties to stop with the passive-aggressive bullshit, make amends, and make money all in the same process. However, we didn't get that. To make matters worse, CM Punk got into another backstage incident. This time, it was with Jack Perry. The report stated that Perry wanted to use real glass for a spot and Punk told him not to. You would think that this was just a locker room leader making sure his locker room was safe. Well, that beef carried over into AEW's biggest show ever, All In, and Jack Perry used a car with real glass for a spot on the pre-show and took a shot at CM Punk directly into the camera. And once Perry got to the back, CM Punk got in his face and this started another brawl. However, things were much worse this time around because Punk reportedly lunged at Tony Khan, and to have this happen right before their history-making pay-per-view went on the air while also nearly attacking the boss himself was enough for Tony Khan to officially fire CM Punk from All Elite Wrestling.
Today I terminated Phil Brooks, CM Punk, for cause. Never have I ever felt, until last Sunday, that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
Why his eyes look like that? Like Tony Khan, you get sleep, my boy. Like why you so bug-eyed? Y'all bug out. Y'all bug out, brother. Y'all bug out, dogs. If chill out, dog. Have somebody else book the shows because I heard AEW ain't doing that good, my boy.
Then CM Punk went on an interview with Ariel Helwani to explain what really happened at All Out with Jack Perry, and this is what Punk said.
I went to Tony and I was like, please handle that. Like, please. And he was like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, I'm not telling you what to do. Just be the boss, please. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Like, please handle it. Because if you don't, you're not going to like the way I handle it.
Did he handle it?
No. No.
So you did?
Yes.
What happened?
And I walk up to him and I'm just like, Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet like on TV, you know? And he's just like, well, if you got a problem about it, do something about it. And I was just like, man, come on, man. You know, I'll kill you. Like, what are we doing, you know? And it just, you know, it's like Chael says, sometimes you just can't let you get close, you know? I thought I was doing a responsible thing, you know? I didn't punch anybody. I just choked somebody a little bit. Samoa Joe was there, told me to stop, and then I quit. I turned to Tony and I said, this place is a joke, man. You're a clown, I quit.
That interview actually led to AEW releasing the footage of the fight between CM Punk and Jack Perry, and it's safe to say that this is not how you handle business. With that said, AEW seems to be like a healthier place now that CM Punk got fired and is in the WWE, and I don't think things would have changed after the brawl out. As for CM Punk, he shocked the world and returned to WWE after a decade. He looks very happy as well. It looks like everyone is better off now, and that is a good thing for both CM Punk and AEW. It's crazy to think about how everything unfolded, and here we are living in a timeline where it all happened. Did you know The Undertaker once decided to try something different with his attire, opting for a pair of snake pants? He thought it would be a fresh change for his character, but it ended up being a huge mistake. Taker himself has said that it's one of his biggest regrets, as the look was met with so much negative feedback from fans and peers alike.
Yeah, there was a pair of snakeskin pants I wore at a match with Kurt Angle that I really regret. It's one of the biggest regrets.
They were very stylish, though.
No, they were horrible. And Terry Anderson, bless her heart, she did all my gear, pretty much my whole career. And when I told her I wanted a pair of Python pants, she went, "No, you don't." I was like, "Yes, I do."
What was the thinking behind it?
I just thought it would be cool looking. They were snakeskin pants. I'm a biker.
Hey, if they were black,
yeah,
no,
those are awful, man.
Yeah, all right, we back. Sorry, this would have been fire. The pants would have been fire if it was black. I ain't gonna lie, it was a good idea, but if it was like an all black pants
and never wore them again, proving that even the dead man isn't immune to a fashion flop. Rick Rude made history by being the only wrestler to appear both on WWE and WCW on the same night. Thanks to Monday Night Raw being taped, Rude was able to appear with D-Generation X on WWE TV, and then he showed up live on Monday Nitro with the NWO, all within the same evening. We won't see a rare moment like this ever again due to the nature of live television. In ECW, Mick Foley and Terry Funk, two icons of hardcore wrestling, asked the crowd for a chair to intensify their brawl, but what happened next was pure chaos. The wild Philadelphia crowd responded by launching dozens of steel chairs into the ring, turning the mat into a war zone of twisted metal. Foley and Funk found themselves dodging a barrage of flying chairs. Funk even hilariously sold this chair shot to the head. What started as a request for a simple chair turned into one of the most dangerous moments in wrestling history. With safety measures in place today, moments like this will never happen again, making it a rare and unforgettable instance of hardcore wrestling. Ricochet and Will Ospreay had a dream match in What Culture Pro Wrestling, but it suddenly turned into a nightmare minutes into the match when the top rope unexpectedly exploded. The two high flyers were then forced to wrestle the rest of the match without a top rope. The ability to keep the match going with no top rope for the rest of the bout shows just how skilled and resourceful Ricochet and Will Ospreay are. Do you remember Zach Gowen, the one-legged wrestler WWE hired to feud with Brock Lesnar? Well, it turns out that WWE almost brought in the wrong one-legged wrestler.
I think Johnny Ace got the edict to hire.
Hey, yo, that chair was killed my son, bro. Yeah, see, look, hold on, go back.
Well, it turns
Look how
out
that chair
WWE
folded.
almost brought in the wrong
Ew.
one-legged wrestler.
I think Johnny Ace got the edict to hire me just based off the buzz of my TNA dark match, meaning they had no idea what I looked like. And so Johnny Ace is like, okay, yes sir, I'll do what I'm told, like a good soldier. He started making some phone calls. Steve Kern, old buddy of Johnny Ace, is training Steve Chamberlain, the other one-legged guy in Florida. And he goes, yeah, I got a guy here who's got one leg and he wrestles. So how many one-legged wrestlers could there be?
Right.
And so it just makes sense that they hired him. But then I started wrestling on TNA on their pay-per-views. So then people understood what I looked like, and that's when they kind of did the math that wasn't me.
I think that's the first and last time that WWE makes a mistake like that again. AEW had the perfect ad during the Nick Gage and Chris Jericho match.
No, you gotta be kidding me. Whoa, stop it, for God's sake, stop it. This no rules match will continue through the break-in picture.
When you order Domino's carry-out, get 3 topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
Hey, that's perfect timing. I'm not gonna lie. That's like that was
the last
funny.
moment has to be the first ever Hell in a Cell match where the Undertaker threw Mick Foley off the top of the
That
cell.
was funny.
Truth be told, I didn't want to do it. Like I said, like Mick, dude, this is craziness, right? Like, so he's on me week after week. He's like, I think I can do it. You know, you throw me off the top. I think fine. All right, you want to get thrown off the top? Fine, I'll throw you off the top. There, you happy? He's like, I've been, you know, and he had told me like I've been up there. I can see. He never went to the top. He never went to the top of the cell. He never looked at it, see what it looked like, and there we are. And I was like, you ready? Bye. And then he hits, and he's not, I don't know that he could move, and I'm just waiting. Like, I'm just looking at him like, fuck, come on, Mick, move.
I just killed a man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's what I'm going to go down in history for. I killed Mick Foley. And I'm just thinking like, Mick, just move. I'm saying this in my head. Finally, he starts stirring, you know, and I think somebody might have turned and gave me a, you know, like,
yeah,
he's okay. He starts climbing back up, you know, I'm like, oh shit, man.
This motherfucker doesn't die.
This guy wants to die. So little did we know that was going to be the easiest part of his night, because when I choke slammed him through the top,
dude, you didn't expect that to break like that?
No.
That's horrifying.
He rotates.
I know, through it.
He rotates.
Through the top of the cell.
Yeah, he rotates another couple of inches, dude. He don't get up. When that chokes, he just never stopped, man. He hit that thing, and that thing popped all the way open. And then the chair that was on top come down, hits him in the face too. This is kind of gross, but like, he's got this huge booger, what I think is a booger in his nostril, right? Well, come to find out, it's not a booger, it's his tooth.
Oh. What, in his nose?
Yeah, it went through when he landed. His incisor went through his lip and lodged in his nose.
Oh my!
He gets his tooth out and he hands it to the ref. He said, "Hold that for me."
Hold that.
Nah, shout out to Mick Foley, man. You were a hardcore legend for a reason. But if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to Planner, of course. Always remember, keep doing your thing and make it make sense. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.